Hi there guys, Kateback here and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to visit the oldest continuously inhabited city in Switzerland, Chur. Chur is an ideal starting point for discovery tours around the canton of Graubunden and many beauties of surrounding mountains. The picturesque old town has a wide range of cultural, architectural and gastronomic pleasures. And particularly cableway from the city center basically directly takes you to the mountain experience, which we will see here shortly. So a little bit about history. Chur is the oldest continuously inhabited city, as I pointed out, which says a lot. You can actually see the signs of medieval history, architecture and culture right in the city to this day. Sadly, the city was almost completely burned out in the fire of 1464. Due to that, the influx of German-speaking artisans who came to rebuild the city, interestingly enough, led to the fact that local Romansh language was practically entirely supplanted by German. As you probably know, in Switzerland there are 4 official languages: Italian, French, German, and Romansh. Romansh is a teeny tiny minority of people who speak it, and in Chur, that's supposed to be the part for Romansh speaking, but here you're more likely to hear German due to this very fact rather than Romansh. So, Chur, what's so special about it? It's in the heart of the Alps, which already says a lot. Very charming, and I would highly recommend a visit, particularly if you're planning to travel by Bernina Express or Glacier Express. These are these truly epic, fantastic trains that have this massive windows, practically all windows, that allow you to see picturesque views around you better. The well-preserved old town would probably leave an immense impression on you. There are many narrow alleys, beautiful streets, fantastic frescoes on the buildings, and arches, a whole bunch of arches through which you can enter in even narrower alleys, and beautiful inner courtyards of many buildings. So I would highly recommend going in and out of small entrances, as long as it doesn't say Privatweg, which basically means like private area, then you should be more than welcome to enter it. And now we're coming to the first main tourist destination, is the St. Martin's Church. This church is one of the greatest Protestant buildings here in canton of Graubunden, and its Gothic tower is way out there over the most houses and buildings in the city. It's actually one of the main sightseeings in the city, and this tower is really good to use to orient yourself in the town. And my personal favorite spot was actually over the main cathedral of the city. So now we are in the Cathedral of Saint Maria. Originally, the whole sort of religious center started here all the way in the 4th century. The first bishop in Chur was registered as early as 451. Presumably the first cathedral was built during that time as well. Sadly, the cathedral that we're seeing right now obviously doesn't date back then. The previous one was destroyed, and the current was built here in the 12th century in a style of Romanesque basilica. And the gorgeous Baroque domed tower was added only in 1600s. The church itself is beautiful, but most stunning is the view from the surrounding areas over the city. What I personally really loved about the city was the fact that even though it's very, very small town, it's super lively. When we were there were like 3 ongoing events, which not many large cities can boast in Switzerland. So there was this 70s concert. So many people, if you've been noticing, I've been shooting, many people were dressed in the style of the 70s. There's this massive concert hall that was filled with people in the style clothing of 70s, which was super cool. And there was a major gathering and movement for veganism, which I'm totally with. I'm a vegan myself. Consider joining. And yeah, so city was super lively for the size of it. So if you're lucky, you might actually catch an event or two, no matter when you come. And this is actually my personal favorite, my favorite building in the city. This is the city library. I actually have the theory that the value of the people in the city can be seen by where do they invest. Do they invest mainly in the city hall, in the church, or in the schools and libraries? And given how much has obviously been invested in this building, shows you quite clearly that people of Chur truly valued education, reading, and overall intelligence. One of the best parts about the city is the Chur cableway. So you could take the cableway directly from the downtown and all the way to Frauenfeld. And Frauenfeld is a high plateau, and in spring, autumn, and summer, I don't know, winter, regardless when you're here, it's stunning. They're beautiful mountains. In summer, there are meadows and flowers, alpine flora can be seen, and breathtaking panoramic views. They're great circular hikes over the area. We were not dressed for the occasion and did not have the time to do that, but that's the beauty of many Swiss towns, I believe, that it's so easy to actually get to the hike, and it's usually within a few minutes drive or ride on the public transportation. The best thing about this particular place, if you are into the mountain biking, this one has the best mountain biking experience, presumably in Switzerland. And there's like a huge number of paths that you could take going down the mountain. And we actually saw a whole bunch of extremist bikers, which I have immense respect for. Guys, if anyone here watching who is mountain biker, extreme type, my immense respect for you. That's an amazing sport, and I would really want to try, but don't have the guts for it yet, but maybe in the future. So if you're into that, Chur would be the place for you, and the views are stunning, and the pathway down the mountain is amazing for the mountain bikers, so would highly recommend that. Alright guys, so that would be all that I wanted to share with you today for this lovely city. I would highly recommend visiting it. Let me know if you did, what was your experience. Would be happy to hear from you, whether you visited or not. Thank you so much for joining. Subscribe if you haven't yet, so you don't miss future videos. Like if you like the video. It's an immense support and gratification for every content creator who puts a lot of work, let's face it, into all of this. So once again, thank you so much for joining, and see you soon.